What's up? It's Keith Kalfas. I'm out doing Monday quotes. The guys are on a job site working right now, and I'm out doing quotes. Here's the second quote. The first one was window cleaning. We don't normally quote window cleanings in person. We could do it on Google Earth, but the house was like 5,000 square feet, so I had to go in person. And anyways, here's the next quote. I kind of got out of the tree stuff just because of several reasons, but this longtime customer wants this locust tree trim. They want several quotes. They want it trimmed by 50%. A honey locust tree is the most expensive tree we would ever trim because there's so much debris. If you could see the amount of dead wood and the amount of stuff that comes off this tree, the cleanup time is 3 times as long. It's so brittle, there's so much. So to remove that entire lower branch right there, that goes all the way up, this whole branch going up over the neighbor's yard, this whole branch, that branch, and then all the dead wood inside. So it's reducing the tree by what the customer would perceive to be about 50%. We're talking about $1,500 to remove the entire bottom shelf of this tree and then remove all the dead wood. And then to remove the tree, they also want to quote, it'd be $3,000 to remove it. To grind this stump, $600. Not just to grind the stump, to grind this whole berm out, which means you got to call Miss Dig and flag for utilities. All these adjacent and critical roots coming out right here. Get rid of this whole berm. Then another $600 to remove the grinds and come and put fresh topsoil, grass seed, fertilizer, peat moss, and hay. So now they're back to grass. $4,200 for that. Now, I'm sick and tired of quoting trees, especially locust trees, because the customers always go, oh my God, that's so expensive. And of course, it's incredibly expensive to just remove something or get it off your property. But here's the catch. I think something like this, I would just call my friend William or Chris. Maybe I would show up and drag brush, because if I were to do it myself, I'm not set up to remove a tree like that. I could totally trim it, right? To legally, legitimately do tree work, which is, I'm not trying to do that. That's why I've gotten away from that stuff. The amount of workers' comp and overhead and cost is extreme, and it's very dangerous. Okay, let's go to the next quote. So this is the first apartment I had when I was like 17. I lied on the application, somehow got into this apartment complex. I think my rent was $475 a month back in the year 2000, 2001, and I lived right in here. I worked 4 jobs, so I did landscaping all day, and then at night I was a bar back, like in these nightclubs, stocking beer and running around till 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I did roofing on Sundays. So at 17, 18 years old, I was making like $900 a week, which then for a kid was a lot of money, but I was working an average of 90 hours a week. So I used to come into my apartment and I would collapse on the floor at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Literally, I would open the door and actually collapse onto the floor and fall asleep with my face on the kitchen floor, and I would kick the door closed behind me, and then I would wake up 3 hours later at 7 a.m. and I would get in my old 1985 Silverado truck, no exhaust, and it was so loud. We called it the bomb, and I would floor it, and I would go like 60 miles per hour to get to work, to my landscaping job, literally shaking. And I didn't have time to do groceries or shopping, so we'd go into 7-Eleven in the morning at the gas station, and I would just spend like $20 every morning, which would be like $40 today, and I would just get like a half gallon of chocolate milk at breakfast and lunch, and I'd be stuffing my face while on a lawnmower. I did that. I worked 2 to 3 jobs from the age of 14 all the way to like 21. And at 21, I didn't even know what it was like to be a teenager or anything, because I was bouncing around. I lost my apartment and ended up living at my grandma's house for a while. And because I never got to be a teenager, because all I did was work and I was on my own at 14, I totally took advantage of it when I got to live with my grandma. And that's when I got into doing music and all that stuff. And by the time I was 24, basically I got my shit together. Why am I telling you all this? Let's go to the next quote. I want to say that my online course, How to Start a Landscaping Business Right Now with No Startup Money, with over 20 hours of information on how to start a landscape business, get legit advice about insurance, property quotes, everything you need to start your landscaping business. It's updated and revised. I spent all weekend working on and filming all new modules and updated information about the industry, and it's very, very, very powerful stuff. You can get access to it by clicking the link in the description below this video, or going to keithkalfas.com and go to the courses tab, or I'll put a link directly below this video. If you're just getting started or in your first year of the business, you got to get this course. All right, we're in the next quote. This is a client wants a quote for tree trimming. Dogwood tree, 85 bucks. Magnolia, 100 bucks. Crabapple, 245 to trim up those. They also want to quote window cleaning. We've discontinued interior window cleaning, and I'm watching my window cleaning business fall apart right now, because to hire more people to do windows and all the phone calls and marketing and administration and dealing, it's so much in my bandwidth as the business owner is stretched so thin. There's not enough profit margins to hire more people to then manage the administrivia. So I'm in what we call cash flow purgatory. So I'm working on that. Arborvitaes, 80 bucks to trim them, and the window cleaning, $2.99 to clean all the windows inside and out, and then the screens would be $4 a screen. That's such a small, tiny job to trim these trees, man. I can't send guys all the way here. It's got to be at least 300 bucks. So it's 300 to trim up those trees, man. Is what it is. To another customer. Man, all this stuff grew back. We redid that entire front landscape fall before last fall. It's all looking good. Everything grew in. Nice. Crazy. Yeah, we redid all this. Looking good. Everything grew in. Quick note about trimming arborvitaes and quoting them. They're very deceptive. These ones are about 18 feet. So you got to bring the orchard ladder and go all the way up and down, 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 up and down with the extensions, and climbing up and down the ladder and moving it a little bit more, a little bit, move it in all ends between all those. It could take you hours just to trim 2 shrubs. I'm not even playing, because the trimmers are only about maybe 3 to 4 inches of the trimmer, because the arborvitae shrub is turning on a radius, like it's cylindrical, right? So when you put something flat up against something cylindrical, like take a ruler like that you measure with, like a 12-inch ruler, and push it flat up against a soup can. That ruler isn't wrapping around the soup can. If you zoom down really small, what percentage of the ruler out of 12 inches is actually touching the soup can? I mean, probably like 1/4 of an inch. So that's all your shrub trimmers are touching when you're going up and down. Now imagine going around that soup can, up, down, and then slowly rotating the soup can, and you got to cover every square inch of the soup can. That's what I'm talking about. Want to see a cool thing I always keep in my truck? Oh, floss picks. Floss picks. Here's a quick job. Just sold this one, $515 to trim up the shrubs in front. Put a couple bags of black mulch down, trim a little bit of dead wood out of this crabapple. It's like literally like 4 pieces of dead wood. Use forsythia, trim these down, pull all the weeds, skip the arborvitaes, and trim the ivory halo dogwood shrub. I mean, we'll be in and out of here in 3 hours or something. Done, sold. See, don't you like the jobs that you sell them right on the spot? I do. Cool. 1,950 bucks, sold. Oh, nice sound effect, thank you. Shut up. William just called me and said he just did a tree job, and for partial payment, the customer gave him a boat. And he's asking me if I'm gonna go meet him on the river real quick. Should I go?